Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today's video, we will be giving our review for The Invitation, starring. Go ahead, say the names. I don't know.
It should be Natalie Emmanuel and Thomas Doherty.
Yep, her Thomas Doherty, apparently.
Hey, I did not like him before this movie.
But this came out last year.
First time we watched it though.
Yeah, first time I've watched it. So even though it's not like this year new release, it's new enough. So that's why we're reviewing it. But so this movie didn't get a lot of love. A lot of people didn't like it. So it kind of put me off from watching it. Wasn't even going to really buy it, but she had wanted it, so we had ended up purchasing, getting it for her. Just hadn't got around to watching it. Huh?
So glad
I did. But so this movie was kind of advertised as this vampire romance, maybe like a slight romance, but I think a lot of people kind of expected more violence and more vampire carnage.
I think it was a perfect balance.
And I think that's why a lot of people didn't like this one, because this movie isn't quite that. This movie is more of more romance than anything.
What was the beginning of part I said? Oh, it reminded me of one of like a smut book at the beginning.
Yeah. It's definitely, I could see why guys didn't enjoy this as much.
Vampire.
Unless you're a guy that's into romance movies or is just open to watching anything and everything.
It's like a mix between Vampire Diaries and Ready or Not.
It's definitely not going to be for a lot of people, especially guys, and I think was the problem. A lot of guys went in expecting more of something different, and what you get is not that. It's not vampire carnage you would expect. So basically, this girl is invited to a wedding that her cousin, that she found out's her cousin online through one of those
like
ancestor things. Yeah. He invites her to this wedding, and
he really is her cousin.
Yeah, they really are family. They are related, or are relatives.
You said it
right. And they
Reminds me of Benedict Cumberbatch.
They get there, and you could definitely tell that something's off the whole time. But she's supposed to be there as just a guest. She's staying in the mansion, but you never really see any like bride or groom or anything really. You don't see anything going on.
There.
Yeah, with a wedding, and so basically, it ends up she was brought there. Her family has this pact with Dracula that he is to protect them if they provide him with keep him with brides, and it's their strongest when they're from a certain bloodline.
Which happens to be her bloodline.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much what she was lied to and brought there for, that to be married off to Dracula and become one of his third bride, because early on in the movie, you see one of the brides kill themselves.
Yeah, trigger warning. Wasn't aware for that.
Yeah. But I felt like I got what I expected from this movie. It's a Dracula trying to find a bride. I mean, it's.
But they didn't do it like your typical, I don't know, like old fashioned type monster realm version of it.
Mm-hmm.
They did it a lot different, but it was better because of it, I think. I think that's why I was
It's
into it, because it was more leading from the romance part of it, not all, the
mm-hmm.
vampire stuff.
It's slower. It's
I think it worked for. Maybe it's just come on ADHD medicine now. I don't know, but it worked for me, and I have a really hard time with slow movies.
yeah. It's a slow one for most of the movie. Once you get to this scene, like in what you saw in the trailer, where they slice the person's throat, um, that's when it somewhat picks up.
I don't even remember the trailer.
Um, but I will say, cinematography wise, costume design wise, everything was really nice. I thought the chemistry was there between the two. Um, I thought that it still paced very well, even though it was a slight slower movie. It had some uh, creepy scenes throughout.
Yeah, but it wasn't jump scare creepy. Like, it was literal creepy stuff, which is
Yeah,
what I love, because a lot of stuff now is based off just jump scares, which isn't really scary. It's just a lot of music and stuff that gets you.
yeah.
But I do like how um, the older woman that ended up being friends with her grandmother or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I like how she ended up helping out, which I had a feeling she would, because she was the way she was acting
Mm-hmm.
um, at a lot of the times. And then I think, because I'm not a big fan of Thomas in general, but I think he did really good in this movie with the acting. He really surprised me and bumped it up compared
Yeah.
to Descendants. Okay.
All the acting was really good throughout. I had some comedic moments, especially from my main girl's best friend.
I don't like the first wife though. That first wife vampire, I do not like her.
Yeah,
She's
there's.
bitchy. I'm gonna punch that bitch in the face.
I will say, I think at the end, I wish we could have got a little more action, or scenes kind of been drawn out a little bit more, where she had to fight a little bit harder. It's kind of like, as she said, movie somewhat reminds you of Ready or Not. Um,
You get like
but
the romance from Vampire Diaries with the Ready or Not aspect of it.
yeah. And in Ready or Not, I know one of the biggest players was that because she was mostly like running around, running away. There wasn't a lot of fighting back that she did in the movie.
This one, when she has to fight,
This
she fights.
one, she fights, but I wish we could have gotten extended a little bit more. I felt like it went so fast. Each death or each fight scene, I felt like went so
Okay,
fast that it
so
kind of took away a little bit from the
that's probably
ending.
the only part I would
But
change, because like when she's fighting the what they would call the first wife, I guess, that he married. That part I felt like was a good sequence, but like as far as lengthwise. But then the other one was trying to side with her, protect her, so that doesn't really count.
mm-hmm,
But like when she's fighting Renfield or Dracula himself, it didn't extend as long as it probably needed to. But
mm-hmm.
that's the only thing I would change.
Yeah, because I mean, yes, she's a vampire she's a halfling as they call her. She hadn't fully transitioned into
Which is why she
the
couldn't
full strength
throw him off
vampire,
of her
which yeah,
easily.
which made me feel like Renfield, the whole Renfield fight could have been extended just a little bit, and then definitely I think the Dracula fight could have went a little bit longer, even though he was technically aged and a little bit weaker. He still, I think, should have been more powerful than her, and I think the fight still should have been a little bit more extended than what it was.
I don't know, cause it depends
A
what
little
version.
anticlimactic at the end
It depends
for
what
the
version you
fights.
look at, because every movie, no matter if they're going off a lot of the original like stuff to do with vampires, they always have something different. And like even like in Twilight, for instance, even they had where like as soon as you started to change into a vampire, you were strongest right then until it died down way later.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be one of those things. But either way, I don't know. They're really good though. And that's saying a lot because I hate vampire films typically.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. I thought it was a decent balance. I thought they did good building up the story, building the characters, keeping you guessing. Um, and overall, I gave it a what I get 4 out of 5. I believe it was.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, you gave it a 4 because it was just a tad lower than mine. You did have it at 3.5. No doubt kicked your ass. But I will say the only thing that was flat out predictable to me was when she was finally she figured out everything, was running away from the mansion, and she kind of came across that little town or whatever. And as soon as she knocked on that woman's window, and I saw the woman's like, "Oh, she's gonna be in on it," and I knew it. That was the only part I could predict, though. Everything else was pretty much up in the air for most of it.
Yeah, I say this. I say in general, this will probably be predictable for a lot of people. I mean, you kind of. I mean, the trailer does give a lot away. You know they're
I don't remember. I
vampires and
never
all
remember the
that just
trailer.
from
So
watching
right
the
now,
trailer. Um,
it's been far since it's been out too.
but but yeah, we both enjoyed it. She really loved it. She's uh loved it. I think it was one of
It'll
those
be one of
that.
my top of the year
Well,
right now.
it's a little late for that. That was from last year, so you missed the window on that
Well, I
one.
mean, out of what I've watched this year, though,
Oh,
it would be my top of what I've actually seen this year.
even over Scream.
I said in the top, not the top.
Oh,
Scream
okay.
would be the top.
Let's say
So far.
even over Scream. But I think that might be everything. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
Nope.
No. So that's everything for this review. So please comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell, be notified for all of our videos. We will see you all in the next one.